aggressive as far as I'm on the side of the conversation of pH really matters. Obviously, I think most people here have probably done some salt grows. I did a bunch of salt grows, and pH really matters there. The reason pH is not as ions out to, to try to create a beneficial optimal pH at the root tip, that's energy that could be going into other things, biomass. Yes, we really need to pay attention to your trace elements. I feel like a lot of folks, again, kind of chase trace elements. Trace elements are almost never your limiting factor. 99.9 to infinity, it's not your limiting factor. Can you turn your dial up to 11? Are you running a rocket ship and you've got all your environmentals, all your fertilities pinged? Yeah, you should start diving into your trace elements. But until you've got everything else pinged, you can do a lot of damage. Like I tell this story a lot. The worst farm I've ever consulted on was in South Carolina on an island, an organic farm. Like 3 or 4 generations of organic farmers. They knew what they were doing. And they wanted to get into hemp. And we did all their cuts for them, got them started. They had a good year. I'm a business person. They didn't contact me the next year, so I reached out and said, hey, if there's something we could do better, let me know. And they said, no, my kid's son just graduated from Clemson. He's going to do it for free. It's hard to beat free. So, unless it doesn't work. And so he called me maybe a month into the season. Could you stop by? Something's wrong. And I thought when I got there, I'd found the wrong field, because he had 10 acres of just plants about 10 inches high, fully necrotic, crispy, just dust. Oh my goodness, what happened? What'd you do? So he gave me his current soil report, and he had boron numbers double what his nitrogen was. They lost that 10 acres for 8 years for over-application of trace. So don't hamstring yourself in an effort to turn a dial that's not ready to be tied, or turned. Everybody's seen that barrel diagram. There's always one short stave in the barrel. That's your limiting factor. Trace elements are always sitting up here nice and high as far as limiting factor. But it's something you should dive into once you get that stuff done. Soluble salts, measuring osmotic stress. We'll get into that a little bit more in a second. And then it's all about nutrient availability. That's the nice thing about a salt grow. You read the bottle, you pour it in, and you know that your plants have available to XYZ. Organics is a little more complicated. Part of it is that we've got a middleman, delivering biology, delivering our nutrients for us. Temperature matters. There's a bunch of different things going on there. And then antagonisms. We'll talk about that in a minute. So let's focus on the biological. The microbes, the fungi, the fauna, the protozoa, that's who's doing your nutrient cycling. That's who their exudates, their poop, their frass. They're taking in some sort of inorganic material and breaking it down and delivering it in ionic form that your plants can take. And so we want to keep them happy. I love the image of the worm in here. I know it's hard to see. Worms are my canary in the coal mine. If my worms are happy, my pH is probably fine. My temperature's probably fine. I'm not over or underwatering. They're a great resource. They're a great chelator, things like iron that are hard to get into your plant. If your worms are working, you'll see that uptake improve. Enzymes and exudates in the mineral solubilization. Sorry, it's early for me. So a food web is the integrator between physics and chemistry. I took all of Elaine's intensives, soil food web. I'm a big fan of her early work and that kind of stuff. And I love what Bryant Mason says about that perspective as far as kind of being the pulp fiction of organics. Like, it's the hype. It's exciting. Like, when I took Elaine's classes, I was ready to brush my teeth with tea. I was going to save the world. I was going to spray it on my neighbor's dog.